It started at a community center in Grand Rapids, the Threads class. It's been going on. The Threads class has been in existence since like the late 1990s. So when I took over the program, I started the quilting part. My aunt introduced me to quilting by giving me a quilt for my wedding.
I did that. Hello, everyone. This is Linda Otterbridge of Hidden in Plain Sight. We're here today with our guests Erica Millbrooks, Anita Johnson, and Pinda Childry Sahara, and we're going to be talking about the event that is happening Saturday, the quilt show in the park. So that's what we're talking about today. Again, I'm Linda Otterbridge. For those who don't know me, I am the founder and creator of Hook a Sister Up, a supportive online community for women entrepreneurs and women who write, GR, for women authors, creators, and poets, plus a podcast show. But for tonight, we're going to be talking about an event that's happening that I can't wait for these ladies to share with you, because it's not the first time I've heard about it, and I've attended one. So I can't wait to see it this year. It's been a while since I attended. I think it was 2018, maybe. I attended one. But I know you guys do not want to miss it. So we're going to get going, talk a little bit about the event. But first of all, I want you to make sure that you share. If it's on your page, if you're on my personal page, please share what we're going to be talking about today, and make sure you share the show so people can find out what's going on. If you're commenting, make sure you give StreamYard permission to use your name in the comments if you're going to be commenting while we're streaming live. If you're not giving StreamYard permission to use your name, and if you comment, we love that. But make sure you tell us who you are, because we like to know who's on here and what you have to say. So make sure you drop your name in there so we know who we're talking to. So be prepared to ask lots of questions. Be prepared to be engaged, because these ladies got some stuff for you. That's all I got to say. Okay? So again, we're talking tonight about Thread Sewing Circle, presenting the fifth pronounce that for me, Anita.
Biennial.
Biennial. I can never say that, y'all. Biennial. That's what I want to say. Biennial quilt show. So the Thread Sewing class is having it this Saturday in their personal stories. So it's featuring excellent historical and personal stories from Grand Rapids African American culture and tradition of quilting. This year's quilt show's event theme is Quilts in the Park. The exhibition will feature unique quilts that spring from the creative women in the Threads class. I can't wait to hear about this Threads class. The quilt story theme will be presented in a variety of topics by quilters who share their respective lives and historical perspectives in a variety of topics. Fiber arts, including African kente patterns, pave the way for the creation of vibrant colors and highly intricate patterns, all showcasing a rich tapestry of combined works through different quilt mediums. The Threads program quilters are excited to share their quilts with the community. We invite everyone interested in joining and being part of the 2022 Quilt Show event, which will be held Saturday, September 10th at the Martin Luther King Jr. Park in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Those who will join the event will undoubtedly be inspired by the equally inspiring and compelling personal stories of many different quilters. So, one more caveat for you guys. During the quilt show event, there will be a scavenger hunt, y'all. Now, anybody know me, they know I love scavenger hunt. I love looking for stuff. And information on the Underground Railroad, history of African American quilting traditions, quilt drawing, and more. So just hold on, y'all. Y'all gonna hear the rest of it here. But I just wanted to give you a little bit about what we're talking about tonight. So welcome. I hope you guys got questions for our guests here. Welcome, Miss Erica, Miss Anita, and Miss Pinda. What do y'all have for us tonight?
We are going to tell you about we're going to tell you about the quilt show, the history of the show, why it got started, and all the activities that's going to go on at the quilt show in the park. It's at Martin Luther King Park this year. So we look forward to seeing everybody. This is the fifth one. The first one actually started, today is September 7th. The first one was September 7th, 2013.
Wow. I love it. So you've been doing
So,
this for a minute then.
yes. So it's coming up on 10 years. So um, it started at a community center in Grand Rapids, the Threads
Mm-hmm.
class. It's been going on, the Threads class has been in existence since like the late 1990s. So when I took over the program, I started the quilting part. My
Mm-hmm.
aunt introduced me to quilting by giving me a quilt for my wedding.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
in 1996, and I saw all her intricate handwork. She made a log cabin quilt, and she hand quilted hearts throughout the queen size quilt.
Oh, sweet.
So I was inspired by that. I've sewn all my life, so quilting is another part of sewing. So
Mhm.
she inspired me. So I started quilting with the class. So as the years went on, I'm like, I want people to display their work and also see the African American perspective of
Mhm.
quilting. Other cities have African American groups where you see like the colors, the bright colors, the African prints in their quilts, and that's what I
Gotcha.
like. And I love festivals, so I kind of wanted to show that, you know, had different activities going on. I wanted a family event. I wanted
Mhm.
arts and crafts, African dance and drumming. So, and to just something to look at, something different for people to see.
Look at that big smile on her face when she's talking about it.
I
Erica
love
got this big grin. You can tell her grin and everything is just like she's like, I just want everybody to know. I want everybody to do this because I know
Yes, I want
everybody's going
everybody
to
to
do it. She's just like, oh,
I
I
want
feel you.
everybody to quilt.
I feel you through here. I can feel the excitement. So I know this is. She ain't playing, y'all. She ain't just saying, I
Right.
got this quilt and they made me sew and now I got to do it. She's like, mm-mm, I want to
No.
do it. I love it. And I can just, it's just, I don't even like sewing. You have me want to sew, and I know. And put on a button, sew a hem. Ah, where's the tape?
No, like the sewing group that we have. So the first one, I had this idea to do this quilt show. Unfortunately, the very first one, which I wasn't able to be there. My dad passed away,
Oh, sorry
but
to hear
the people in the class, they didn't really have my vision, but they still executed it. So I missed the first quilt show, but it did happen.
Oh,
Um, so then I was like, wait a minute, I gotta, so we did it the next year, 2014. And then we realized how much work it is. So that's why a biennial show is every 2 years.
I
So
see.
then we did 2016, 2018. The next
Gotcha.
one was supposed to be 2020, but we all know the pandemic happened.
Mhm.
And then some other things changed, and we decided like we can't just let this stop. So let's
Right.
do quilts in the park. This is grassroots, no grants or anything for
I
this
love it.
show. So it's just a little miniature version of what we do. We do it big, but this is a miniature version until we do the next one.
I don't think this is going to be a miniature version at all. I think it's going to be big. So that's just me. I think it's going to be big. She
So
Yeah.
pulling something out, y'all. What is she
yeah,
pulling
I got
out?
to show you the t-shirts from the previous years. So this is the first one. And Anita
Oh,
is the one who designed this shirt. And from
I,
there, we had a green shirt. I couldn't find that one. But 2016 was orange. So
I
we've been
love that
doing
one.
this
Mhm.
for a long time. And then this is 2018, which we had over 500 people attend.
Yes, I'm looking at my sheet right here so I can talk about Miss Anita. But I'm gonna let you finish your shirts first before I get on Miss Anita.
Okay, that was it. And then purple.
I like the red too.
Purple.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like the purple. See, now I said I like the red, but I know I like the purple. I think I like the purple. I
Okay.
really. So the purple is available this year, or will it be?
Yeah, it is.
I love that purple.
Uh-huh.
It just pop. The colors just pop right off that purple. I really like that. Let's talk about Anita while we're at it. You said designer shirts. So Anita Johnson, y'all. I forgot
Yeah.
to say
Well,
this in the beginning. Designer and tech coach. She's not just a designer, y'all. She's a designer and tech coach. So I'm gonna let you tell us a little bit about the tech part and the designer part. But Anita, she was is a promotion and marketing plan. She did a promotion and marketing plan for the last quilt show. And Anita, Erica just mentioned that the turnout was great. So this was, you said close to 500, so close to 500
Over
individuals,
500.
over
Mhm.
five.
From different places, not just Grand Rapids, different
Did she say
states.
over 500?
yeah, people flew in
Over
from other states. They made
over
it.
a 2-day. It was a 2-day event.
Oh, you know how hard it is to get 500 people to anything, but you had people coming from all over, and that's
Hmm.
the beauty of it. So their
Yeah.
marketing promotion works. If you got that many people coming in, like you said, they're flying in from other places, so they're not just local. Because like we always say, depending on where you are, you do have to get traction and people coming in from other places because you can't just rely on your people here. You have to let other people know, and that's when you want your message out in other places that people know about you, that they'll come to your event. So 500 people showed up, and they exceeded their goals from what they had planned on for people coming in, and that it was the largest event to date. So that says great things about your skills in marketing and promotions, Miss Anita. But tell us more about this shirt, what that entails when you say market and promoting the event.
Well, yeah, the first shirt, we designed, and then we sort of
Mhm.
kept that theme and kept that look through the years. So I've been a part of it since the first one. And I also get to
I
go into
love
the
that.
class and see the the ladies quilting and just the camaraderie that they had
Oh, I
and
bet.
the beauty, and it was just so much fun. Like you, we all got in our family got different artistic gifts. I did not get the sewing one, but I did get the excitement of seeing it and being around the ladies. And what I noticed about Grand Rapids, because I moved here from Seattle, was
Mhm.
the families and the people, and that the people would show up for their family. And so that
Mhm.
was what I was going to build the marketing core from.
Yes.
That, and the ladies, they're the heart of their families, and I knew they would show up. So I created something where they would be in the picture.
Oh,
You could
yes.
see it.
Back
Nice,
it up.
nice.
You could
Mhm,
see, oh wait,
Yes.
this is bigger. You could see each of the
Mhm.
ladies,
mhm,
and they each sent
I
out a
love it.
personal letters to their family members, inviting them. This was a big deal. They're going to be showing, they may or may not have shown or been a part of something for a long time. So I
Right.
knew that if they sent that invitation out, Grandma, you better be there.
Yes.
Okay. And that,
Exactly.
and I knew Grand Rapids people would show up, and they did. And then they told their friends and family. And then we had a Facebook group, which we still do. Facebook, go Quilt Show,
Mhm.
Facebook/Quilt Show, or go to ericamillbrooks.com, and you can see some of the information or history there, and you'll see videos of the ladies you'll see them sewing and creating the quilts. You'll see the
Right.
interviews of them telling their stories
Oh,
live then. And some of those quilts are going to be there this Saturday too. So there are stories of the history of the lives of people,
mhm.
right on Logan Street, right on the migration from Mississippi to here to
Oh,
Grand
wow.
Rapids. You're going to hear the stories of May, who went from Mississippi to the March on Washington as a
Mhm.
14-year-old
Mhm.
girl. She knew it was
I
so
love
important that
stories.
she wanted to
Mhm.
go, and she went. So it's just a really special community of women and families, and like Pinda, I've always seen her family, her kids are involved. And you're going to hear from her today. You'll just all the ladies that come together and create. That's what makes it so special here.
mhm.
Oh, y'all got the same excitement. Everybody talk with us, the hands going and the smiles, and it's just like I can't wait for Penda because Penda getting ready to have the same excitement and drive. I just know it. Look at her; she's all outside in the
Well,
beautiful outside.
I'm the baby of the family. Remember, I'm the novice, the
Oh,
six,
no,
the
no, no, no,
6 year
no. You're
young
not the
novice.
baby. But all I know is Anita got it down pat. Anita was like, "Nope, we do this. I just love the stories." And then I love the personalized letters, the little things that you created that they send out, like the
Mhm.
postcard kind of thing with the pictures on them. So that
That
you
was
touch,
beautiful.
you're touching that. You pull from the heartstrings. You always pull from familiarity and heartstrings. So I love that with stories and things of that nature. So as a marketer and promoter, you're right on point. You're right on
Mhm.
point with that. So I just love it. It's just, what did I do with my thing? Did I just move my comment? Oh, I was messing around with my screen and I was
Mhm.
trying to put a comment up. And I'll do this every once in a while. I'll stop in between and show a comment. Thank you so much, Amy, for joining us. Yes, it is very fascinating, Amy. So make sure you find some time to come out and join. I'll definitely be there. Join us this Saturday. I don't know what time I'll be there because someone did ask me, will I be there? And want to know what time I'll be going. But make sure you check us out. Come hang out with us. Any other questions you have? And speaking of that, Amy, is quilting your thing? Let us know if that's something that you would love to try to join a sewing class and check out the quilting. Winter's coming. We need these quilts, girl. I'm just saying. Yeah, I know. I know, Amy. Yeah. That, no, that's my no. You said I love to. I would love to. Is it you or your mom talking, Amy? But let me know. No, that's my mom. Whatever. But yes. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with us and commenting today. So let's talk about Miss Penta. Penta says she is somebody cutting up and not happy back there. Miss Penta says she's the baby of the group. I don't know what that means, but she's gonna share because I don't know how many you don't call them, what do you call the sewing circle? It's
Um,
a circle of women who sew, but you said you're a 6 year, so you're
Well,
a
first
novice
of all,
quilt maker,
I said I'm a 6 year quilter because
quilter.
I started off sewing my own clothes when I was about 13.
Okay.
And I started sewing those because I was seeing myself in the store-bought clothes. So I wanted things that nobody else had.
Mhm.
And I started off with African material when I was 16.
Uh huh.
By the time I was 30, my mother decided to start making quilts for everybody in our
Mhm.
family, a family of 13 of us. She made
Ooh.
each one of us a quilt. Um, I made a quilt along with her out of my jeans. That's what
Mhm.
she helped me with.
Mhm.
It wasn't the fanciest quilt. They were quilts of warmth. They were our clothes. So that in itself was history.
Mhm.
And so working and having children, you don't have time to get into things that you might want to tap into, like quilting, for example. I
Mhm.
said, when I retire, I'm going to learn how to make a more fancy quilt because that
Right.
jean quilt and the quilts my mother made, it was nothing fancy about them. Not one thing.
You want to make
Except
some
for,
fancy ones, huh?
except for they came from the heart. They came from the soul. They came from the muscle. I
Mhm.
remember her and I making my quilt. And those
Mm.
were the best times. I mean, we probably talked about everything up under the sun and within
That's what
that
I
week.
was thinking. The bonding. That's exactly what I was thinking.
We were doing. And
Oh.
that's the beauty of that quilt that I still have today. I
Oh.
still have some of her quilts to this day.
Mm.
And they're over 50 years old, her quilts.
Wow.
So I said
That
when I
is beautiful.
retired, I was going to learn how to make a fancy quilt. I ran into a person, Miss Ruby, who was a part of our sewing circle,
Mhm.
in a fabric store.
Mm.
And out the clear blue sky, she said to me, she said, do you do any quilting? I said, no. She said, well, what you buying that fabric for? I said, a head wrap. She
I do
said,
those, huh?
"Are you interested in quilting?"
Uh-huh.
I said, "Yeah, at some point when I, quiet down in my life,
Right.
I would like to make a quilt." She says, "Well, I'm part of this sewing group. We do
Mm,
quilting, and you should come and try to be a part of it. We got a wonderful instructor." I'm like, "Well, who's the instructor?" She said, "Her name is Erica Millbrooks." I said, "Oh, she's my sister in another group."
look at that.
I said, "You know what? I'm gonna talk to her about coming to that group, but I gotta find time to get there first." And I did. I spoke to Erica about it. I told her I met Miss Ruby at the store, and that's the history part. So I got in there, and I have learned quite a bit from Miss Erica,
And that's how you got connected.
but I'm still a novice. I'm
You
still learning every day.
We're always learning.
I'm a
Learn new patterns every time you do a quilt. You learn something new.
I'm a student. I'm a forever student with everything. That's my story.
I love it. I know. Did you have something that you? Because I know we had talked earlier. Did you have something that can you show now, or you want to show it later, or?
I can show now. This is it's not a it's
We don't want to lose you, but I know you had something you were showing me earlier before we
for
get
more of
into it.
a 5th year quilt.
Okay.
If you,
Oh yeah. Yes.
it's never been shown. This has never been in a show. This
What?
this is probably this is probably the show.
Are you holding out on us back there?
I might not be in this one, but it's part of the
Oh
show.
my God. I
This,
love it.
To
this
see
is
the rest, you have to come to the show.
You know, they do a sneak look, they do a sneak peeks on y'all today. They are not showing too much. Look, that's all y'all gonna get. She hurry up and got it
no,
off that camera quick, didn't she? She did that was very
but
nice.
my story quilt was one that was very emotional for me.
Mm,
It was a quilt centered around people in my family, and spirit moved me to do that quilt.
hmm.
It was centered around people in my family who have made a journey to some part of Africa.
Oh wow.
And I myself had just gotten back when we were asked to do a story quilt. I just
Hmm.
got back from South Africa.
Mm,
And so initially it was going to be centered around people who in my family who have made a journey to some part of Africa. And then it became people that I met on my journey
right.
in South Africa. And I put all their pictures into this quilt.
Are
History,
you bringing that one,
story,
Pinda?
everything.
I thought that I would bring that one because, like I said, that was the one that I kept among two others. When I started hearing from other women in the circle
Hmm.
about how they had all these quilts that they started and they're just sitting at bay because they might not have had time to finish it, or they might not have had the material they wanted to put into it. I said, "Oh no, no, that's never going to be me. I'm never going to keep a quilt like that." So I decided mine were going to be legacy quilts.
I love
I
it.
started making all my grand blessings a quilt. Actually, it was a quilt throw, which is
A
like a
grand
half of a twin size. I made all them quilts with their pictures in it. So that was 11 quilts.
wow.
And I made a friend's granddaughter a quilt during that time. And then I said, I'm going to make all my living sisters and brothers a quilt, which I'm
Mm,
just kind of completing in this last year. Remember, I'm from a family of 13.
wow.
Even though there are some members of my family that's not among the living, I will make one of my sister or my brother and pass it to their daughter as part of my legacy quilt.
Mm.
I've
I love
also
that.
gifted a few people in the community with some of my legacy quilts, and I'll continue to do that maybe once a year.
I love it. Penda, well, actually, guests and friends of guests and friends of guests, because when y'all get up here, get off this show today, make sure y'all share what Penda just said and what Anita said and what Erica said. They give y'all sneak peeks. That means y'all see nothing until Saturday. So
Right.
I'm just saying, you have to come Saturday to really see it. They're just telling you the stories behind the stories, but you have
And
to come to physically see them.
I want to tell you that we're also doing a
See?
quilt drawing. So we want to keep this quilt show going. So we need to raise money. The way we do that, each year we have a quilt drawing where the tickets are, you can buy one ticket for $5 or you get three for $10. And that's going to help us keep this show going, keep sewing activities going and the sewing class. We don't just sew together. We go on trips. We go to other quilt shows in Chicago, Detroit. We go to museums. We've been all over. But those are just some of the things that we do. So we want to keep going with that. So besides the quilt raffle, we are making also the quilt show is at the Southeast Area Farmers Market this Saturday. So you'll see there'll be vendors there, food vendors. So we're going to be making these reusable shopping bags. They're very simple. They have a handle.
Look how
So
cool, y'all.
these bags are made like with, you know, a lot of people that sew like to hoard fabric. So this is a way for me to use up my fabric
I love it.
in a nice way. And
Fabric order.
it folds up nice so you can put it in your purse.
Oh my God.
Because you know we're going to have to be paying for bags pretty soon, I'm pretty sure. So you can just put this in your purse. So these are $5 each or two for $8. So bring money to the show to help support us.
Y'all
So
make sure y'all get that.
and then I also, I sew lots of things. So this is a bag that will also be
Why?
off too. It's a crossbody bag made with cork and it zippers and has pockets and everything. So these are some of the things that we'll have available to help,
This
support our.
girl got a bag, a whole bag, y'all.
Yep.
I don't do quilts. I do quilts and bags.
I sew
That is
everything.
so
I make
cool.
dolls. I do alterations. So I just love sewing and I want it to continue. So if you have any kids that want to learn how to sew, I teach them to sew too. So,
And
okay.
y'all
So
thought that was just a backdrop behind her. Wrong.
this is the quilt that you could possibly have. It's a throw quilt. So like while you're watching
Do
TV,
that,
it's
do that
the
again.
size
This
that
is a quilt that you could possibly go ahead, Vanna. Do that.
you
I love
can
it.
win this.
I love it.
It's a throw
I'm
quilt.
digging that. I'm digging that. A throw quilt. It's a throw quilt. I love the
Like
color.
while you're watching TV.
Yes. I got a lot of those. Well, that's
Or a
lot.
baby quilt, maybe.
I love it. What else
We're
you have there?
also
What else you have?
okay. We're gonna do a Underground Railroad scavenger hunt. So you'll get, if you can find the quilt blocks or name them, then you'll get an extra entry to win something. So I'll give you an example. So if you come, I'm going to tell you one now. This is an Underground Railroad quilt. Each block means something. I'm just going to pick one.
Amy,
This,
you better come Saturday, girl.
yeah, because, and if you came on here,
Oh.
you can get an extra ticket. Just say. So this one right here, this one.
Gotcha.
It's called Satin and Bow Ties. And if it's sideways, it's a bow tie. If it's this way, it's an hourglass. So just reminding in the runaway slaves, the slaves that are going north, to use your time wisely, and you might have to change your clothes. So those are just things on the Underground Railroad that they had to do. And so this kind of tells like different things, this quilt. So that one was satin and bow ties. So come and bring your kids. They can play.
Oh man.
There'll be little games for them. And it's along with the Southeast area farmers market. So it's at MLK Park.
So what will they be doing there? Will they be fruits, vegetables, food with Southeast? Are they
There's
doing
different vendors there. They
vendors?
sell,
Okay,
there's jewelry, there's shea butter,
okay, a
there's,
little bit of everything.
yeah, and there's food. I mean, vegetables and fruits.
Y'all just come for the cruise show, and yeah, do that too. But you got to really come for the
Come
cruise
to
show
the
and
show.
hear the stories and buy some stuff and support, because I had no idea that. Excuse me, my light is in my window again, so I'm trying to move around and keep out of that. That you guys are really a community of quilters, because
Right.
not just come together to quilt, you do other stuff outside of that um, relationship and bonding and other things like that. So it's, I always say, as a community, because yeah, you don't just sew together and bond that way. You do travel, go places, and do other things. So
Learn new stuff.
yeah,
I
I
like
love
to
that.
teach people history. I was at an event a couple weekends ago, and a
Mhm.
kid came up. I had a sewing machine up, and the kid said, "What is that?" So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. We got to make sure these kids know
Wow,
what a sewing machine is. So I will have
that
a
is so cool.
display of like old irons, old sewing machines, how thread was on a wooden spool. Just, I like history. So I like the
I
kids to
love
see
it.
what it
But
used to
they
look
need to see that. They're probably like, what's an iron? What's an iron and what's a sewing machine? These kids,
like.
You'll be
they'll probably
surprised
even
at
iron
the
their clothes.
children. You'll be surprised at the children who don't know what an ironing is, who
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
what
what an
I'm saying. That's why
ironing
I said
board
that.
is. They don't know
Iron.
what a
What
rubbing
is
board
that?
is. They don't
Mm,
know a lot of that. It wasn't their history.
mm-hmm.
You know,
But
right now
yes,
we're in the wash and wear. So who irons?
Mhm.
Right.
exactly. Us
Anita,
older
Anita, what
people.
did, Anita, what did you have to say about the quilt show?
Well, I just wanted to say you might know some of the people who are going to be there, so to come support them too, and some of the women who've been there. May, Miss Ruby, Paulette, and Irma, and Quila, and Ethel, and Ara,
Era.
sorry, and Annette. Penda's here, and Tony, and Michelle, Georgia, who've been, so you'll see some of their quilts, and they've been a huge part in the past as well.
And the new
Well,
one, Sherry.
Sherry, yeah.
I definitely know Georgia. I have her. I was going through my pictures from the last one I went to, and I got Georgia standing by all her quilts. I just have pictures of Georgia everywhere. I think I must have came because she sent me a message. That's what happened. You coming to the quilt show? And I think I came because she was showing me around all her quilts, and I was taking all her pictures. So I got a bunch of your pictures, Georgia, with all
Yeah.
your quilts from the last one. So how many in the sewing circle? I tried to count while you were calling off names.
About 15.
That's
15.
nice. And what is the length of time of the length of time, the longest sewing circle member, or I don't know what you call a member, who's been there
I
the
would
first?
say Era. She's been there before 2013.
Wow, wow.
Yep.
And the newest one just joined by someone else bringing her in, or she's learned about the sewing circle. The newest person.
Actually, my mother-in-law. I got
Okay,
her.
she learned because see,
Yep.
I know because you
Sherry.
have the excitement. It's like, no, you coming in, you come into the fold. It's like just come on in. Because you're probably
Yeah,
enjoying it because
it
you
keeps
see
your
all the
mind.
excitement.
Yeah, and it keeps your mind sharp, and it's a good activity.
I can see that. I just started doing coloring books, so I'm just happy to just quiet my mind and sit
All
still.
right.
So I had to
Yeah.
quiet mine. So I'm just now doing that because it was just not working with other stuff. So I can
Wow.
see sewing being that thing. I just don't
Yeah.
have I don't know if I can pull that one off. Coloring I can do,
Okay.
but the sewing I had to. That'll be a long stretch for me because I just never did
you,
like sewing. It's like,
well, you can just come view and
Enjoy it. Okay.
enjoy
oh,
the
I definitely want to do that. I
The
definitely
quilts will
want to do
be
that.
hung. The quilts will be hung on the tennis courts.
And you did leave the address. Where did my private message go? Martin Luther King Jr. Park, 900 Fulton Street. Thanks for that, Anita.
Fuller,
Um,
Fuller Street
Fuller.
Fuller.
Street.
900 Fuller Street, and that's Martin Luther King Jr. Park, 900 Fuller Street.
Yeah.
And that is Saturday, 11 o'clock till 4.
Yes.
Okay.
And you will
Now,
see like the tents for the farmers market, and the quilts will be displayed on the tennis courts.
gotcha. You
On the
won't be able to
fence.
miss them. You won't be able to miss them. Well, ladies, all I know is you have a lot of questions to answer because I've been I've been trying to keep up with Amy because Amy's been busy over here.
I
So
see.
who was Amy's been busy, and thanks Erica for trying. Erica's trying to keep up with him. Okay.
Oh, I think I know her mom.
Uh-oh. My mom has
Yes.
been going since 12 or 13.
Oh.
Amy, what's your mom's first name?
Uh-oh. You get a prize,
She
Amy.
used
If you
to come to my, I think, yep, she's so nice.
Oh
Like,
my
I
God.
wish you would
You
come
make sure
back.
your mom comes Saturday. You make sure you bring
Oh.
your mom with you.
Please
Don't
do.
make quilts with her mom with fabrics from family members, but I like to cross stitch. I cannot do needlepoint at all. But Amy, I think you're gonna be in this group. I just feel it. I just got a feeling that you're gonna be in this group soon. Uh,
So she said her
uh,
mom just turned 80, and I think our oldest member is, I
oh,
think she's 85.
Mm.
oh yeah,
So
I love it. Well, your mom may be in this group soon, Amy. Just saying, just saying. Amy said she liked the bag. I know, isn't that sweet? That's a nice bag. That's all I gotta say.
got a chance to win.
There's another question. Amy, have you ever made a weighted quilt? Half a quilt for autistic toddler or young child. She's 4 with any questions, any answers from you ladies?
I have heard of those, and it can be done. Yes, I haven't made one myself, but I know it can be done. I can make anything.
She can make
I
it.
have
Okay, Amy.
weighted quilt, but I work with clients who wore weighted quilts
You say who?
for sensory.
Oh, I guess I didn't. What did you say? I missed it.
I said I myself have never made a weighted quilt, but I have worked with clients who have worn the weighted quilt.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
The-
Okay.
A weighted blanket is what they call them.
I have a quilt from my grandma from back in either the 60s or 70s, and it has like the natural quilt batting on the inside and
Mhm.
made with heavy fabrics. Now you will feel weighted in that quilt. You sleep
Oh,
very
I bet.
under that. So that's the
I've heard
material.
about it. I'm like, who would use a weighted quilt? But I can
Yeah.
see it.
Like she said, for
Amy.
autistic.
Yes.
Amy, that's great that you teach your children or students how to iron.
Yes.
I just taught my grand blessings how to iron. Before that, they have never seen or touched an iron 2 years
Isn't that
ago.
something?
And these are my own grand blessings. It's just something that I never thought about. Their parents don't think about it because they don't iron either.
Hmm. And I love that you say you call them grand blessings.
That's what they are to me because I never thought I would have any.
I love it. Anyone else have to share anything else or what's I'm trying to think. Amy, just make sure. I just hope you guys can hope you can make it Saturday, you and your mom, because it'd be great to see you two there.
Yes. Her mom used to
Make
be in the class.
I saw something that says that's what I'm looking at your private chats. And I was hoping that you could make them put them in a regular chat. Because I can't move them from my end. So I had to put them in the regular chats. Because I wanted to grab that before Anita and put that in the scrolling across there, but I did not. So if you can put that in there, it would be great. Thank you, Amy. Yes, please put that on your calendar that you can come Saturday. But yes, Anita, if you could put that information in the chat, not the private chat, comments. And
It's
maybe you
not
can't put it
giving
in
me
there.
it. Yeah.
That's right.
It doesn't
It's
give-
not going to let you do it. Amy, Erica can do it because Erica, if she's commenting, if she's on her phone, she's got the dual thing going on here. She said, "I'm on this live and I'm on my phone commenting as well." So thank you for that. Putting in the website. And what did you put up there? Email and I'll also leave it after we leave here. I can leave it in the description as well. But I did not put your email. So let people know where to find you. I'll let Erica finish putting her information in. And for everyone, just let me know any last minute details that you want to leave everyone with today, because we've talked quite a bit. We already talked about what people can expect on Saturday. Any last minute notes or anything you want to leave them with today?
Just come on and see some epic quilts by these phenomenal women in this sewing circle. You're going to be in for a big surprise to see all the art in the quilts.
I can't wait.
Beautiful fabrics, beautiful stories.
History.
Yes, beautiful group.
And that's what I like when you said the stories that comes with it, because like I said, I'm a storyteller. I love stories. So I'm always fascinated by the story behind the artwork and the picture. So that's what I can't wait to see and hear the stories that come with it. Anything else you guys, ladies, want to share?
I think that's it.
Well, all I know is, go ahead. Anything else?
We look forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah.
See you soon.
I want the bags. I want everything, because everything looks good. The bags, I just want it all, because I asked Erica, I said, Erica, how long did it take to make that bag? What did you tell me, Erica?
About 3 hours or less.
Why? Who just does that? That's like 3 months in my time. It would take me about 3 months to do something like that. She said 3 hours. I'm like, really? Really? So anyway, the skills you have are just crazy. So I'm just happy that you ladies could come on, that we can have this conversation today and just learn about what's happening Saturday. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. You guys know what to do. Join us Saturday. You already know where they're going to be. Make sure you pop in, bring whoever you need to bring, get into the scavenger hunt and all the above. Thank you for being a guest. Thank you, Amy. Make sure you and your mom come out, and we will see you on Saturday.
Thank you, Linda, for having us.
Thank you, Linda.
Anytime. You guys stick around till after, so don't leave. Stick around.